seed, my food, my choice, my future. My seed, my food, my choice, my future.
Right to seed, it is a human right. And if the government infringes on these human rights, it is infringing on other rights as well as the right to food, because from seed comes food. So it is important that the government grants Kenyan farmers this right.
Mbegu zetu,
uhai wetu.
mbegu zetu,
Uhai wetu.
As small-scale farmers, we cannot be subjected to a situation where if the seed inspectors from KEFIS imagine that you could have seeds, they can just enter your premises, take your seeds without a due process. Everyone else is entitled to a due process, but farmers are not. This kind of discrimination and infringement of farmers' rights is what we are fighting against.
Without seeds, there is no way that a farmer can control their own food production systems. There is no way. Because you will be depending on seeds that are coming from outside your region, they're coming from outside your country, or every time you're depending on money from your pocket, which is not what an African farmer should do.
He who controls your food controls you. And that is why it's important to fight for our food as African people, because when multinational corporations control our food, they're actually controlling us 100%.
We are fighting for indigenous seeds because this is just not about food. It's also about the right of these farmers, and it's also about biodiversity. We know that indigenous seeds plays a very big role when it comes to environment, agro biodiversity. So why don't we protect this?
We submit that these provisions of the law, of the Seed and Plant Varieties Act, actually contravene the Constitution of Kenya. Article 1 places the sovereignty of the people of Kenya to their constitution. Power is vested in the people and not in global commercial entities like the Seed and Plant Varieties Act tries to do. These provisions, various provisions of the SPVA and the seed regulations should be declared unconstitutional, null and void.
Parliament is mandated under Article 11(3)(b) of the Constitution to pass a law that both recognizes and protects farmers who plant indigenous and plant varieties and genetic resources. However, the law introducing provisions that, number one, require the farmers to register as seed merchants, and these peasant farmers being required to pay 75,000 to firstly register, then every year they must pay 10,000. The petitioners argued that such a law then goes contrary to Article 11(3)(b), and it was also discriminatory because not all farmers can afford such an amount of money, and if they can't afford, then they can't practice their tradition with the use of their seeds. And so this case, essentially, the prayers that are sought are to challenge these provisions as being unconstitutional.
I'm very optimistic that this law is going to be scrapped and I will be free to sell, to exchange, and to give my indigenous seed without any restriction. And this will be a win, not only for me, for my Nakuru County, Kenya at large, Africa at large, and the world at large.
I will be continuing to push the government about our seeds to be free, farmers to be free, to sell the seeds and to exchange.
I will deliver judgments on the 27th of November.